Hello everybody and welcome to your newest lesson for today. My name is Kyle Broda with FullSkillsExamPrep.com, and your lesson today is on the Parents and Grandparents SuperVisa. Again, this is a really important topic in your Full Skills exam because it's on the exam, of course, and it's, again, a pretty good topic. It's a pretty small area of immigration, though it has the potential to have one or two questions on the exam on this topic. So it's really worth studying this in depth and going through it, and that's exactly what this video is for. So by the end of this video, you're going to have a fuller understanding of the Parent and Grandparent SuperVisa, and of course how it pertains to your Full Skills exam. As you know, our materials have you covered in this area as well because, again, it's going to be on your Full Skills exam. So if you refer to your test day data booklet on page 15, everything is very clearly outlined for you, and that way during your actual exam you can have access to that to answer the question in probably 20 seconds, 30 seconds. So first of all, what is the Parent and Grandparent SuperVisa? It is a temporary resident visa available to parents and grandparents of Canadian citizens and permanent residents. So you might be wondering what the advantages of the SuperVisa are versus just a regular visitor's visa. For this one, it's actually valid up to 10 years, which is amazing. So when the government shut down the permanent residency sponsorship for parents and grandparents, they opened up this one because they found that parents and grandparents want to spend time with their grandkids or whatever for a couple years at a time. Though a lot of people didn't actually want to live in Canada. So they opened up this one, and it's a lot easier to get accepted in this program as well. One of the other great things about this is that, as you know, a regular tourist visa is valid for 6 months, and then you have to extend it or leave. For this one, it's valid for 2 years at a time. So basically every 2 years, the parents or grandparents would have to leave the country, and then they can return right away to start another 2-year stay in Canada. Just a quick little FYI. Some people are from visa-exempt countries. If you want a full list of those, just go to page 15 in your test day data booklet. And you might be wondering if a SuperVisa would be valid for them as well, or even useful for them. And the answer is yes, because, again, it allows the holder to stay for more than 6 months. A big point to understand as well is that the visa does not include dependents. So if somebody is sponsoring their mother and father to come visit, the mother and father cannot bring a dependent. So, for example, maybe the person's brother. There are some basic requirements. These are all outlined in the test day data book, of course. So the person sponsoring the parent or grandparent has to be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident of Canada. The parent or grandparent has to actually be eligible to enter Canada. So that's just like anybody else. So they don't meet any of the Article 36 inadmissibility clauses. And even when preparing the application for this, they have to prove that they have ties to their home country. So the government doesn't want people to just move to Canada permanently in this. They have to prove that, just like a tourist visa or any other temporary resident permit or visa, they have to prove that they're going to leave at the end of their stay and that they actually want to stay in their home country. They also have to outline the purpose of the visit. So in a lot of cases, it would be to take care of grandkids or to visit. Okay, they also have to prove their family and their finances. They have to have enough money, of course, to stay over here. The government doesn't want people working under the table, of course. And they also have to prove that family relationship. So it can't be somebody's uncle. It has to be someone's parent or grandparent. A big factor as well is that they have to be able to prove the economic and political stability of their home country. So the government might be a little bit picky in giving a SuperVisa to a parent or grandparent from a country that is in war, for example, because they're probably scared that they're going to claim refugee status once they arrive. And of course, an invitation from the Canadian host. And as you can tell, the Canadian host would have to be the child or grandchild of the person entering. Okay, there are some other requirements as well. So they have to have a letter promising financial support from the child or grandchild. This means that, just like any other family sponsorship really, the child or grandchild has enough money to sponsor the parents, and they can take care of them. It includes housing and food and that type of thing. There's the LICO. The LICO is super important in these types of questions. And we'll talk about this in depth when we go over the sample questions as well. They, of course, have to do a medical examination, just like most other temporary residents. And Canadian medical insurance. So this is essential as well. It has to have a $100,000 minimum coverage. Has to include healthcare, hospitalization, and repatriation. And it has to be valid for at least 1 year upon arrival. So if the person buys medical insurance on January 26th, and it starts January 26th, but then the parent or grandparent arrives in Canada September 26th, they might not be admissible unless they bought it for September 26th, 2015 to September 26th, 2016. So it has to be valid for 1 year after they arrive. Like I said, the low income cutoff, the LICO, is essential to know. This is on page 15 of your test day data book. And the real trick with this one is that when you're calculating the size of the family unit, you really have to remember that you're including the parent or grandparent being sponsored in that family unit. So a couple of the questions that we'll look at later on cover this as well, just because it is so important for your exam. Alright, so remember that the income threshold is reviewed yearly. So if somebody sponsors their parent or grandparent and then they lose their job, the next year they might that permit might be taken away, just because the person would no longer meet the LICO to sponsor the parent or grandparent for a SuperVisa. And there are caps, just like everything with the CIC these days. So in 2014, the cap was 5,000 SuperVisas. Alright, so as always, we've got practice questions for you coming up. We have 3 of them in this topic. And again, as always, a big thank you for letting us help you pass your full skills exam. Come visit our website to keep up with all of the updates. Our Facebook site as well is updated constantly as soon as any change happens, really. And also, it's important to really keep yourself updated, especially this month, because there are so many changes coming out and so many changes being clarified as well. So again, a big thank you and have a great day.